What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today is a very special video. The reason that I'm making this video for you guys today is because I was actually looking for a video like what I'm making for you today, and I was not able to find one when I was looking to purchase a Gheenoe. And for you guys that don't know, a Gheenoe is basically a canoe that has a big engine on the back and basically has all of the capabilities of a canoe, but in a nice, well-rounded package. Now we have two models. This is the LT25, and then if we come over here, we have the LT10, and these are both my boats. I'll be selling one of them, and we'll get to that later in the video as well. So let's start with the LT25. The 25 does not mean 25 feet or 25 inches or anything like that. It stands for 25 horsepower that this boat is able to take. Now, I don't have anything against Suzuki, but this boat will be getting a Yamaha in November. I just ordered one. And Yamaha, I think, number one, they make the lightest outboard on the market, and Yamaha makes the most reliable outboard on the market. That's, again, my opinion. You guys can say whatever you want in the comments. But for me, I'm gonna put a Yamaha on this boat. I value, you know, shaving a few pounds off versus that engine. This boat has a raised front and rear deck, and I've done a full review on this boat probably 2 videos ago. So if you want just a review on this boat, or you want just a review on the LT10 by itself, I have both of those videos, and I'll have them both linked in the description box below for you guys. Anyway, getting back, this boat's got raised front and rear deck, so that basically means that, you know, it's got this raised, exactly what I said, a raised deck. These boats both come factory with a false floor. So when I was in high school, I had a Gheenoe Highsider, and those boats don't have that false floor. So it's basically just a thin layer of fiberglass, and when you go over like a wave or anything of that nature, you go over like a little, you know, little chop in the water or anything, the bottom of the boat will flex because there's nothing to support it. So the custom Gheenoe boats all come with false floors. That's one thing that I love about these boats. And that allows you to have a really solid platform for putting a cooler down. You don't have to worry about that cooler bouncing. These boats are just great. So let's get into why I'm keeping the boat that I'm keeping, and we'll get into that in just a minute, and it fits my needs best. For you guys, one of these boats may fit your needs differently than mine. So this boat has an overall beam of 56 inches at the widest point. So that'd be about, you know, midship here. And then coming back to the back, this boat has a transom width of 41 inches, and it's significantly wider than the LT10. I'll kind of go through a little bit of the hatches, and we're gonna do a stability test once we put these boats in the water, and I'll show you, you know, maybe if you're a little bit of a bigger guy or you have a small family, maybe this boat's better, and if it's just you, maybe the LT10 is better. So the LT10 has a beam of 45 inches, so significantly narrower, and it's just overall a smaller boat. The transom tapers off a lot narrower. I don't have the dimensions on me. I left the tape measure at home, but I'll have the dimensions of the transom width in the screen right here, so you guys will know what that is. I would assume that it's probably around, I don't know, 20 inches or 25 inches. 20, yeah. 20 to 25 inches. So, but like I said, I'll have it on the screen. This boat also, same thing. I specifically bought these boats because I just bought them how that I want them. You know, custom Gheenoe, if you were to order one of these boats, you can order it with just a rear deck, just a front deck, no rear deck, no front deck, no center box. The center box was something that I originally did not want. I wanted to put a cooler there, but ever since having it, I think the center box is beneficial if you have small tackle, or you don't have, like, you know, you don't want a bunch of stuff laying around on the deck. You can put life jackets in there. It's just a nice storage space, and you can still fit a small cooler right in here. All right, so we have 2 different drives, and that's really the other main focus for this video. Is you have the very minimalistic tiller style, and you know, once you get to your destination, you just kind of fold up the tiller arm there like that, and you know, and then you've got this whole wide open deck. Now, I guess it's the same thing. You know, the steering wheel doesn't take up that much space, and thankfully the console on the LT25 is proportional to the boat. But again, you have pull start and electric start on this engine. This is probably the most user-friendly option for longer runs, is the steering wheel option. You know, and it's better for slightly rougher water. It's just overall more comfortable to drive with the center console in mind. You know, this setup is not for everybody. This is not a minimalistic style. One other thing that I have not added to the boat yet is going to be a polling platform. I've been looking for one. They're on back order with Gheenoe directly. Once this boat has the polling platform, you know, then it'll be really the ideal setup for me. I'll have the platform, go right to the steering wheel, go right to fishing. And if you guys are on the fence about this option right here, this is for the bass seat. I highly recommend it because it doesn't take up any space. Granted, this boat is all full of some off-brand sea deck, which is nice. I wouldn't do it everywhere like this boat is. This is just kind of how I bought it, but now that I have it all over the place, it's actually pretty nice. You can walk around barefoot, and it's not bad. But if you guys are on the fence about the bass seat, I highly recommend getting it. It's not a much more expensive option, and they make all kinds of great seat options, especially when I have clients on the boat that are maybe a little uneasy. Definitely huge, especially if you have maybe a girlfriend or a wife that's not fond of being on a smaller boat. You can give them that seat, and it'll give them all the comfort that they could possibly desire for the day of fishing. This boat came on a galvanized trailer. If you're going to be using the boat in freshwater, I think galvanized is fine. If you're using the boat in saltwater and you're good at rinsing off your stuff, I think the galvanized is fine. The LT25 came with a premium aluminum trailer. Aluminum is better in saltwater. It doesn't have any rust. It won't rust, but it'll just it'll show like a little bit of corrosion you know, after a while. I mainly use my boats in, I guess, both fresh and saltwater. So either one of these trailers would fit my application. Obviously, this boat is already fitted and came with the aluminum trailer, so I'm going to leave it on the aluminum trailer. So I guess we'll get to what you guys want to know. What I've come to the conclusion after running both boats extensively is that the LT10, or sorry, the LT25 just fits my all-around use better. It's got a console, which is an option. I did not want, so Gheenoe makes these boats with a fiberglass molded seat that comes out that serves as, I think it's either a live well or a cooler, or you can rig it how you want. I didn't want that because sometimes, you know, I may have this hard cooler, other times I may have a soft cooler and put a live well here for keeping shad alive. I do a lot of shad fishing in Florida. You know, it's got this built-in live well, which still has water in it. Let's drain that out. There we go. You know, it's got that other live well there, which is great. It could serve as a release well. I've kept shiners in there. I've kept bass in there before. And whenever I get this boat red fishing, one of my really good friends, Casey, who's in the Marines, has this exact boat with the console that I described earlier with the fiberglass seat in front of it. And he told me, he's like, if you're gonna get one of these boats, make sure you get one with a forward live well, because if you're red fishing, or if you're, you know, trying to catch fish to take home and eat, and you want to, or you're doing a tournament and you want to take a certain size fish, it's nice to have the capabilities of keeping like a 27-inch redfish. That's the biggest limit that you can have in Florida, in the forward box. And if you catch a bigger 20, or if you have a 25-inch and you catch a 27-inch, you can just swap them out. So this live well works absolutely great. This boat came with a stereo. I don't ever listen to music on the boat unless I'm just cruising. Everybody that's ever fished with me knows that I do not listen to music when I fish, usually because I'm either filming, which copyright issues, or I just like, when I go outside, I just like the sound of the wind and the peace and quiet that you get being out in nature. But there is a time and a place for stereo, and this boat did come with one. This boat's got a lot more storage than the LT10 does. We've got some trash back in here, but mainly use life jackets and the stern light. And that light plugs in right in this little, you can come over here and show this little piece. It just opens up and then the light goes in there just like that. So that's perfect. Always strap these boats down on the trailer. They're very light, and with the single bump, you could easily have it slide off the side of the trailer. The LT25, again, another option. This boat has a jack plate on it, an electric jack plate, so which comes in handy. If you guys go back a couple videos and watch me going through some of the really tight parts of the Everglades, we jack that jack plate all the way up and we just kind of cruise through some of these tight areas to get to some of the bigger areas. This boat is optioned exactly how I want it. I bought it basically as you see it. The only thing that I added is the Minn Kota. The only thing I added is the spot lock trolling motor. And this thing, if you guys don't have one, is an absolute game changer. I still recommend carrying an anchor in case this, for whatever reason, fails or your battery dies. But this is an absolute game changer in your fishing. Eventually, I'll add a stick it pin on the back of the boat, and then I can really just either stick it or spot lock, and you know, and that's basically the extent of what I'm going to do with this boat. And I'm just going to use it and enjoy it just the way it is. This boat we fished 3 people. So Laura and I fish a lot just by ourselves, but it's nice to be able to bring Laura's brother, who was with us today. Big shout out to Brian for helping us with today's video. I could not have done it without 3 people because gotta have 2 boat drivers, and you guys understand. But anyway, we can fish 3 people on this boat very comfortably, where the LT10 we're limited to only 2 people. I think that probably wraps it up for the review part. Now we're gonna go take these boats to the water and go run them around and, you know, show some maneuverability and stability and all that. So stay tuned, and sorry again if I repeated myself a bunch of times in this video, but just want to make sure you guys get all the information if you are considering buying one of these 2, you know, models of Gheenoe. So thank you very much. And we always got to include the dogs. This is a dog friendly channel. Basil's a good boy. Thanks, Basil, for helping us film today. Alright guys, so we're moving on to the stability portion of this. So this is the LT25. It just barely touched the beach, and we're both standing on the very back of the boat, and this is what you get. I mean, the boat is maybe leaning over, you know, 8 or 9%, or 8 or 9 degrees. Obviously it's a windy day, but we're blowing into the other boat here, but that's basically the stability test. Jeez, it doesn't even move when she's on the boat. All right, so I'll show you guys. We got 2 people. Well, Laura's like a half a person in the real world grand scheme of things, but we've got about, I don't know, 4 to 5 inches of freeboard left. Now, Laura, if you step off
the boat completely?
Yeah, step off the boat completely. We'll show Brian. Brian's 165.
Yeah, about
165. And stand on the back of the boat. You've got about, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches of freeboard. I think if we all stood on it, maybe water would come over the side, but realistically, here, you can film me. Realistically, if you're worried about stability with these boats in particular, you really don't have to worry about it. It's really more of the space that you get for the money. I mean, these boats are not designed to be spacious boats. They're designed to be canoes that basically you can have 25 horsepower on and go almost 30 miles an hour with. Moving on to the LT10 stability test. LT10 stability test. This boat is really only meant for 2 people. If you have kids, maybe, like if it was you and your 2 kids, you could probably make it work, but really it's a 2-person boat. I'm gonna do a 1-person stability test to start, and then maybe I'll have Laura jump up here with me as well. All right, Laura, you can back away. Okay, 1-person stability test. I mean, I'm putting as much weight as I possibly can on the side of the boat, and we got plenty of freeboard. I think we need to bring Laura up and let Brian hold the camera. Come on, Laura, come on up here. Okay, our combined weight is about 250 40 pounds. So we're still not taking on water, and we're definitely not sitting on the bottom. We're still bobbing. But I mean, that's a stability test right there. That shows you, oh, big wave. That almost sent us over the edge though, so don't do this in rough water. But basically, that's a stability test right there. That's what the Coast Guard does with commercial boats. I'm doing this for educational purposes only, so if you weigh 251 pounds, I can't say that you won't flip the side of the boat. But it's very unlikely. Boat is very stable. These are the custom boats. They're built in the Titusville factory. I think they're both built in Titusville, the regular factory and the custom factory. I won't get into too much detail about that. But I always thought that this boat was the same hull as the 15.4 Highsider. And the Highsider's got a really narrow beam. I'm gonna have all of the measurements. Well, you guys probably already saw the measurements, but I'll have all the measurements to both of these boats in the description box of the widest point, of the transom, of each one of these boats. So this boat's actually going up for sale. If I get this video posted before I go to Michigan, I will, you guys can inquire within. We're in South Florida, obviously. Beautiful out. And yeah, let's go take a little ride on these guys. I told you we were gonna slide.